Good afternoon. I thought I would show you some of the changes I've made to my cattle panel greenhouse over the past month and a half. And I guess I'll start right here at the door. I made this little wire gate that just sets in the frame. And this is just to keep my furry friends out, the chipmunks and the squirrels, which I seem to have an overabundance of each year. And when I don't want to use it, I can just store it on the door. To remove the gate from the inside of the door, I just have this little metal clip here, and I just lift that up and it comes out like so, and set it in the doorway, and that's about all it takes. Like I say, I have chipmunks up the kazoo here, and I had to find some way to keep them out. Next up, change wise, both wicking beds have been removed, and I now have a total of 4 Kratky systems. I like having 4 individual totes for the Kratky system, and that should allow me to stagger my crops a little more easily. Each tote is about 20 to 21 gallons. The totes I got from Home Depot were 20 gallons, and the totes I got from Lowe's were 21 gallons. So there's the separation of the totes right there. So if I start seedlings and keep them staggered 2 or 3 weeks apart, it should work out pretty good. Now these here were started June 17th. And the ones that don't make it, I'll just remove and transfer it over to their single tote and then replant. So this seems to be coming along pretty good. This Kratky tote here is overgrown. I can't keep up cutting it back. I keep giving it away as much as I can. I think people are starting to get their fill of lettuce, but I mean, this is all beautiful stuff. It's just a shame to have to just chuck it. And this is coming along a little slow, but I've already harvested the Swiss chard quite a bit. Some of the stuff didn't turn out so good. I don't know if it's from the heat or just the difference in growing between the various varieties of plants. The lettuce seems to be doing okay. Just a quick look at the plants, and there's some monster tomato plants. And what gets me now is the amount of water that these plants are consuming. My cucumber plant right here, that's going through about 3 gallons of water a day right now. The cucumbers are delicious. They're actually very large in size, the cucumber, but they're delicious. They're excellent. And they're just in the Walmart grow bags in a small tote, and I just water them several times a day right now. And while I'm right here, I got these sticky pads off of eBay. Actually, I think they came out of Hong Kong. And I tell you, I like these things. They just catch the gnats and mosquitoes, and yes, I'm sure they catch some pollinators too, but I have them throughout the garden, and they're really raising Cain with the cucumber beetles, which is okay with me. My beefsteak tomatoes are coming really good. I'm looking forward to that. Like I say, the water consumption on these things right now is high. Now, probably the biggest change and most obvious change is I added this fan, and I had to make some structural changes to the cattle panel frame because I had a 2x4 that ran right in front of that fan blade, which blocked flow, and I just didn't like it. So I supported the ridge beam, cut that, and made a reinforced laminated frame that replaced that support structure, and I think that'll be more than adequate. And that fan moves quite a bit of air. Now what I did was I added a thermostat, and that's just a refrigerator thermostat right there, and there is the sensing bulb. And what that does is it obviously controls the fan, and it'll turn the fan off when the greenhouse gets down to about 78, 79 degrees. Now, and I just do things a little quirky here. I noticed that the hysteresis on this switch, the band where it turned on and off, was a little funky. And I'd come out here and the greenhouse would be 75, 74 degrees, and the fan would still be running. And I would just come up and tap that switch, and the fan would shut off. And I didn't care for that too much. So the fan has a little bit of vibration to it. So what I did was I took a spring and hooked it on right here and connected it up with a piece of wire and I just hooked it on the switch. And just that little vibration is enough to keep the on-off band excellent. So again, that's an oddball little tweak, but it seems to do the trick. So, and I keep different subject here. I keep pruning back this cucumber plant. I'm afraid it's going to get whacked by this fan sooner or later. That's got to be what, 8 feet now, taking off over that way. Now looking ahead, I'll probably foolishly once again try to extend my season into winter with these Kratky setups, but I think it should be a whole lot easier than the wicking beds in that I can enclose the bottom of these little tables that I built. And by the way, I really like these because it gives me a whole lot more storage space. But I should be able to put insulating panels around the bottom of this, and even if I put a 60-watt bulb underneath, heat rises, and it should be enough to keep the Kratky tubs warmed up. I'm hoping that I can go deep into December or so and still have lettuce. Growing tall. So in any case, that's my changes and update for my cattle panel greenhouse at the moment.